Hello folks, this is Sullla once again. You're listening to another video for League of Legends, and this one features Ashe. So this is another game taken from our Tuesday YouTube event. In this game, I'm playing as Ashe. Alongside me is Tasticles playing as Gangplank, the Forsaken, or Tough Forsaken, playing as Mordekaiser, the Killer Kiwi playing as Sona, and the Sky Killer playing as Nocturne. Then on the other team, we have VarisNox playing as Ryze, the BZ playing as Aurelia, the Mecha Pope playing as Udyr, the Toast Machine playing as Alistar, and Tiger of White playing as Graves. So the first question might be, why does everyone's name start with the in some form? And the reason for that is that's where we happen to be in the alphabet during the Tuesday YouTube night event. I was going down the list alphabetically, and we happened to be in T, and everybody's name in this part of the list happened to start with the. So this is the game, I guess you would say. Now, before we get into this game, there is something I want to bring up, and this is something that I know some people are not going to like, but I'm just going to bring it up anyway. I always record all my games on the live stream on Own TV. I do have a live stream, so for people who like to watch the Tuesday YouTube night stuff and just any other time I'm playing, I live stream and I save these games. The problem is that Own TV has changed their policy, and they've changed it such that when I record games so people can watch them later, I can't record the sound anymore. And I've talked to them and tried to figure this out, but the real solution is they only are going to allow real high quality streaming with the audio and the visuals if you upgrade to their paid account, which costs $40 for 2 years. So again, I hesitate to ask this because I never like to ask people to donate, but I am only $15 short right now to being able to upgrade to the premium account for Own TV. I have $25 in my PayPal account from previous donations. So if people could see fit to just donate me $15, then I'll be able to upgrade to a premium account there, and then I can continue streaming and getting the high quality video and audio on my live stream. So again, like I said, I know that people are going to downvote this video just because I've made that request, but if I could get even $5 from 3 different people, then I can upgrade my account there, and I can continue doing the live stream with and saving the high quality video and audio. So again, I'm gonna make the request. I know some people will dislike that, and I'm a little uncomfortable, but I really do like being able to put that stuff up on the live stream every time I play. So I figure I'll make the request, see what happens, and again, no one is ever obliged to give me anything. So like I said, I'm just gonna throw that out there and then get to this game. Alright, so again, this game, an Ashe game for you, pretty unusual for me. I don't like playing AD. AD is my least favorite role to play on a team. So this is something that you won't see a whole lot me playing AD. And what's funny about that is that we actually have VarisNox playing as Ryze in this game, and Varys' least favorite role is to play AP. So we usually just switch the roles since we're often duo queuing together. So yes, Varys is going to be playing AP. He's going to be playing as Ryze there in mid. They actually just got first blood on our Gangplank player. So a little bit unorthodox team setup. We have the Tough Forsaken playing as Mordekaiser against the BZ in top playing as Aurelia. So we have Mordekaiser, Aurelia in top. We're actually going to have Gangplank against Ryze in the middle lane. And I'm not 100% sure why we did that. Oh, it's because our Mordekaiser player wanted to be in top lane. He really wanted to be in top lane, which is a little bit strange because Mordekaiser is like a straight counter to Ryze in mid. Mordekaiser actually counters Ryze because of his pushing speed. But in any case, if he really wanted to play top, so we went with it. And so Tasticles is going to be playing Gangplank in mid. Then the Sky Killer is jungling for our team, and who is jungling for their team? The Mecha Pope jungling as Udyr for their team. And then down here in bottom lane, I'm playing as Ashe, as I said. The Killer Kiwi is supporting as Sona, and then Tiger of White is playing as Graves, and their Alistar player, he just went into the brush, is the Toast Machine. So we have Graves Alistar against Ashe Sona down here in bottom lane. And right there, actually get Tasticles is able to get another kill back, and I know I didn't see exactly how that happened while the game was going on, but Varys said afterwards that he just really messed up. So another nice thing that we had introduced in the patch that just came out, the Fiora patch, is the timestamps. So anytime the chat window pops up, you're going to see the timestamp appearing, and that's something you can enable in the options menu. So let me just show that. It's under more options, and then here, there's this show timestamp thing. So again, I'd encourage people to turn that on just because it makes it really easy to time neutral buffs and time Dragon and Baron. So you can just type Baron right when it dies, and then you'll have the timer for it. So that's I would recommend turning that on, and it's something that I'm going to use. This game was actually played before the Fiora patch, but because of the way that the LoL replay client works, you can still see them here. Now, a little bit about this lane. So in this matchup, Graves, Alistar against Ashe, Sona. Now, in this laning matchup, Graves and Alistar have a humongous advantage in lane. Ashe brings a ton of utility to the team. She's quite good in late game, but she is a very weak laner. This is the biggest issue with playing Ashe, and the reason why you haven't seen her as much in competitive play of late. So just to run through Ashe's skills quickly, her passive gives her extra critical strike chance. When she's not attacking, she builds up extra critical strike. It's a pretty useful passive. It's not something that's that useful in maybe a straight up team fight, but it does have its uses certainly, especially if you're not auto attacking. Just the fact that you always have the chance to critical strike is a pretty big deal, and it can definitely, if you get lucky with it, then you can definitely swing some fights. Anyway, the thing that makes Ashe as an AD carry is her utility. She has way more utility than most AD carries as the Toast Machine goes in and initiates, but I'm able to dodge the buckshot from Tiger of White. Tons of utility. Her Q is a toggle on-off switch, and it gives her a slow on her auto attack. So it's pretty basic, but it essentially means that you can have a perma red buff on your attacks. You just permanently slow people when you turn on that frost shot. You wouldn't want to use it too much early on because at 8 mana per attack, that's not a lot, but you can run yourself out of mana pretty quickly. So it's not something you're going to use a whole lot early on when you're just laning back and forth. Her W is the skill that you're probably going to use the most early on. It's her volley. You can see fires 7 arrows in a cone, deals damage, and applies frost shot. So it's a useful skill. One of the really nice things about it is there's no cast time. It's just an instant. You don't have to channel or anything like that. So it gives her quite a bit of extra damage early on in the laning phase, and it scales well in the late game too. The cooldown starts very high. It starts, yeah, see how it's 13 seconds right now? I believe it starts at 15 seconds, and it goes down with each point in the skill. So I put 1 point in this at level 1, and I'm gonna max this first. Then Ashe is her E skill is her hawk shot. Normal is a passive, gives extra gold when she last hits a unit. So you might see that +1 gold appearing every time I last hit a minion. So like right there, there's the +1 gold. And then the active is animates a hawk that scouts for her and reveals terrain. So it's basically a free clairvoyance nearby as well. So again, a useful skill, gives a lot of utility. It's particularly useful late game when your team is grouped up and you're trying to do dragon or baron or something, and you need extra vision for the team. So it's really useful then, giving your team like a free clairvoyance, but it doesn't do anything for you in the laning phase, not really. You can use it to check brush sometimes, you can use it to check if you're getting ganked, but again, it's not a damage skill. Then Ashe's ult is, again, what really makes her as a character. Her crystal arrow, just point and click, you can fire anywhere on the map, fires this huge crystal arrow, anyone who gets hit gets stunned by it, and like right there I was checking for hawkshot. I thought we might be getting ganked, but again, can hit anybody anywhere on the map, point and click. It's a great initiation. It is a skill shot, so yes, you can miss quite easily in fact, but it's a really great when you get to team fighting. A little bit less useful in laning, but you can use it to initiate fights in lane as well. Now there is a dive going on up here, and it looks like Forsaken has gotten taken out by the Mecha Pope and the BZ. So yes, more the characters. Just wanted to jump up there. So anyway, Ashe's kit, like I said, the biggest thing is she just doesn't have a lot of damage skills. She doesn't have any attack speed steroid like a lot of the other AD carries does. The only one of her skills that actually deals damage is her volley, and I guess her ult. But like her Q is a slow, her E gives her a passive gold benefit and allows you to scout terrain. So in a straight up 1v1 fight, she usually loses to other ADs. So this is sort of her biggest issue. And she can kind of get zoned. She can lose trades quite easily. She can get zoned in lane. So with Ashe, generally you just want to farm. You want to try to survive to late game as much as possible when you're playing as Ashe, because she's going to be very useful once you get to a team fighting phase, and she's just a little bit weak in the lane. So with that said, like I said, Graves, Alistar are much stronger in the lane, so this is a major issue for this lane right here, because the people that we're playing against, Tiger of White and the Toast Machine, they are not playing this lane correctly. Graves, Alistar, huge lane advantage, huge lane dominance. They are far stronger than us in lane. They can look to trade. They have more crowd control with us thanks to Alistar. They have Graves' quick draw and his smoke bomb. They are much stronger than us in the laning phase, so they should be playing extremely aggressively. They should be trying to deny us farm. They should be trying to zone me as much as possible. They should be taking a very aggressive posture down here in bottom lane. And that wasn't the case. They just weren't doing that. They were just sitting there and letting me farm. And the result is I have been under no pressure, and I have the highest farm in the game. So I'm at 71 CS at close to the 9-minute mark, and this is actually quite good. This is pretty strong. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but I haven't really missed that many minions, and I'm actually way ahead of almost everyone else in the game. You can see I'm quite a bit ahead of Graves right there. And again, it just goes back to the fact that I haven't been under any pressure. It's easy to last hit if the other side is not harassing you, is not forcing trades, and is not making it difficult for you to farm, and they just weren't doing that. So that was a huge error on the part of their team, the fact that they didn't make it difficult for me to farm, even though they had a major edge in the laning matchup. And so now, because they weren't making it difficult to farm, I went back and I bought a BF sword. I went for the more aggressive buy just because I wasn't under a lot of pressure. I chose to do basically the greedy buy, which was to pick up the BF sword and then just one Doran's blade, instead of going for, you know, 2 Doran's blades and extra movement speed on the boots with the Berserker Greaves and so on. So going for the BF sword, that's being greedy. But like right now I'm trying to force trades because I've gone back and bought and they haven't. Now, right there, Killer Kiwi got a pretty good initiation. She hit both of them with Sona ult, and then I tried to follow it up with Ashe Arrow, but I missed Graves. I ended up hitting the Toast Machine instead. He tanked that arrow really well, so what that meant that Graves was able to quick draw out of there and able to escape. So that was, again, a nice initiation. I just needed to hit on the arrow, and then right there you can see they're going back. So, okay, they're going back to buy. Now what do we need to do? We need to push this lane to tower so that they'll miss out on this farm. And right there I actually get a little lucky with the volley finishing off that minion. So this is why I'm switching to auto attack. I want to get these minions to the tower so that the tower will eat all these minions. Like, look, notice how the tower is killing all these minions. That means that Graves is not getting the experience or the gold for this. And right now we're harassing Mecha Pope, and I'm like, oh, he's on one hit. I'm going to flash and get in an auto attack, and there we go. So that is going to finish him off right there. I was like, oh, he's on one auto attack. I'm going to flash to get that last auto attack. And that actually is going to kill him. So a little bit of a nice play right there. It worked out pretty well, especially for someone who doesn't really play AD that much. But again, their Udyr player, the Mecha Pope, just took a little too much harass. I saw he was on one auto attack, and I was like, whatever, I'm going to go for it. And it turned out to work out, and I got the kill. So now we're in a very strong position, 86 minion kills with the kill, with the champion kill as well. I'm up about 20 CS on Graves, and again, that really should not happen. If you have Graves and Alistar playing against Ashe Sona, you should be winning, you should be out farming the lane. The only reason why that shouldn't happen is if, you know, maybe jungler came down and did something, you know, put you behind, but that hasn't happened. We haven't seen any jungle ganks at all. So with that being the case, they definitely should be ahead, and if they're behind at this point in time, they've done something wrong. Anyway, right there, Toast Machine's going to miss on his Pulverize, and then I'm just going to try to get in some free harass, but mostly I've just tried to farm right here. Again, forcing trades not really advantageous to us just because Graves' kit is stronger as a champion for one-on-ones than ours is. So just fighting is not really to our advantage. I'm just mostly happy to sit back and farm the lane and try to get ahead and then try to use that gold advantage to help us win team fights later on. Unfortunately, Graves is also pretty good late game, but Ashe is certainly going to be a lot more effective once we get out of the laning phase. Now, there was a kill in top lane. Our Nocturne player went up there, the Sky Killer went up there and was able to get a kill on the VZ, the Aurelia, so they were able to get that. Meanwhile, down here, there's the smoke cloud. I can see the vision dropping. So right there, Alistar's going to flash and he's going to pulverize the Killer Kiwi and then headbutt Killer Kiwi backwards. But he didn't really manage to hit me, and you can see how low Tiger of White is here. There comes the Summoner Heal. We baited out his Summoner Heal. I turned on my Frost Shot to chase a little bit. It looks like that engagement's going to back off a little bit. Meanwhile, Varys able to score a kill in mid. So he is doing rather well for himself right there. I believe he's up 2-1. Here comes the ult, and it looks like Varys got really low, so the Sky Killer jumps in there, dives on it as Nocturne. Again, no health bars because of how LoL replay works. And maybe someday eventually, we'll actually get a real replay client. Anyway, they went back. I used the Hawkshot to check to see if they went back. That's one of the nice things about Hawkshot. You can check to see if they're in the brush. So it can help out your support, save them a few words. Wanted to see if they had backed there. So they haven't backed. Now, again, if I could get this minion wave to their tower, that would be the right play to push. But at this point, I was like, I don't think I can get this wave to their tower. They're going to be back. They'll have bought and gotten back to the lane before I can push this. So because of that, I'm not really going to try to hard push this. I'm just going to farm these minions. I'm looking to go back soon, too, because I can go back and buy... I believe I can get Berserker Greaves and a pickaxe, or very close to it. So I'm looking to buy, so I'm just going to push this. And in fact, it did get to their... Well, it didn't get there before Graves got back, but it did make it to their tower. And again, proper time to buy is when it's pushed to the tower, so that you don't miss out on a lot of minion kills. Again, that's kind of basic, But again, if it's worth repeating because not everyone has played that much League of Legends. Now here, you can see I've got the pickaxe. Again, I'm building towards Infinity Edge, and then I'm really close to Berserker Greaves. I need like 5 more gold, so I'm just going to sit and wait for this. And the extra movement speed will probably more or less make up for the time I wasted. So anyway, going to go back, and now we're going to head back to lane. Meanwhile, another gank in mid. So let's just take a look at the scoreboard while I'm back in here. Tasticles is 1-3, 62 minion kills. Varus is 2-2 with 76. So Varus is definitely ahead right here in mid. And Mechapope has gotten off some pretty good ganks. He's helped out the other lanes quite a bit. Gotten 2 kills on ganks, and then just made the 1 mistake in our lane. Meanwhile, in top lane, just to look briefly at this, the Forsaken is 1-2 on 34 minion kills, and that's trouble because the VZ is on 87 minion kills, and he's actually going to die again there. So we're in a little bit of trouble here. Our mid and our top are not doing the best. Fortunately, our jungler, Skykiller, has played very well. 101, 66 minion kills. He's had an effective gank in top, and he was able to use his ult to finish off Varus when Varus was very low in mid. So yeah, overall we're in really bad shape top. We're actually losing top very badly. In mid, we're sort of behind, but not by as much. And then our jungler is doing well, and we're ahead. We're definitely ahead down here in bottom lane, just because I'm at 118 to Graves 98, and I also did get the champion kill earlier, so I'm in good shape. And yeah, I'm pretty far advanced in my build. I'm looking at like a 18 to 19 minute Infinity Edge, which is really strong. Of course, I have skipped out on, only got the 1 Doran's Blade, and I do not have any lifesteal beyond that 1 Doran's Blade, and then just Ruined, or Masteries. So I think I should have 6%, yeah. Got the 3% from the offensive trait. So it's a very even game at this point in time. No dragons have been taken. Dragon, I believe, is still up. I don't think either team has taken that. So it's pretty even right now between the two teams, and it looks like it's going to come down to how we do in the team fighting phase of this game, because a couple of our lanes are ahead, a couple of their lanes are ahead. It's definitely not looking like one of those 20-minute stomp games that sometimes people criticize me for posting on YouTube. But hey, a lot of games in League of Legends actually just aren't that close. Anyway, we're getting in some free harass here on Toast Machine. He'll heal that up, but just having him lower in the lane, if we can get free harass, is obviously worth it. So, like, look at this. We've got him quite low. And right here, I was looking to try to arrow him, but nope. Here comes the Mecha Pope, a nice defensive Sona ult, and I should have hawk-shotted the brush before pursuing that. So we're able to disengage from that, fortunately. And look how low the Toast Machine is. So I'm like, oh, can I snipe him? No! Nice juke by the Toast Machine. I was like, Ashe Arrow. I figured it was probably worth it to go for that, even though that means Ashe Arrow will be down. So now I'm going to turn on my Frost Shot, going to try to kite a little bit. Nocturne's right here. I'm expecting the Sky Killer to jump in. I'm pretty sure he could jump on Tiger of White right here. So I'm actually going to, or he's going to ping it. But as it turns out, Tiger of White's just going to back off, and this is not going to turn into a larger fight. So that's a little unfortunate. Sky Killer could have come down here. He might have been able to get down here and get his ult off, but I guess the range just was not enough on Nocturnal. Yeah, he's only level 10, and that rank 1 of that ultimate, the range is actually not that great on Nocturne's ultimate when he only has 1 point in the skill. So almost a really nice play, just not quite able to get that, unfortunately. Meanwhile, elsewhere, I mean, to Forsaken, our Mordekaiser player is just getting totally zoned up here. He's on 41 minion kills, and that means he is very, very far behind against Aurelia. So that is troublesome. But we are setting up for a gank right here. Here comes the Gangplank ultimate, Nocturne coming in. Are we going to be able to get a kill? And no, it looks like that's not going to turn into anything right there. Anyway, down here, the good thing is we've been able to force them to go heal on a number of occasions, and of course, anytime that they're healing, they're not farming. So I am out in front by quite a bit in terms of minion kills. 146 is quite solid at this point, and I was very close to Infinity Edge, so Sona's going to back right here. Killer Kiwi, or he was going to, canceled his blue pill, I think because I was staying in lane. And the reason why I'm sitting here is I want to go back and buy, but I want to make sure I have enough gold for Infinity Edge. I actually have enough right now, so I'm going to get that wave, and now I'm going to go back and buy. So that was me waiting to have enough gold to pick up an item right there. So 152, pretty good. I mean, you can do better, but this is pretty good. Again, it's just a function of not being under a lot of pressure. They've really allowed us to just sit there and farm in bottom lane. So there we go. Infinity Edge, 18 minutes, very solid. Again, unless you get a whole bunch of early kills, this is about as good as you're likely to do. I have actually seen Infinity Edge and Phantom Dancer at like the 18-minute mark in 1 or 2 games where people were just getting crazy kills everywhere. Anyway, there's the fight in mid. Is this Ignite going to finish off Tasticles? And yes, it is. So it looks like Varis has begun to pull ahead there in mid. Tasticles 1-4, 91 CS, and Varis on 3-2, 115. So Varys' Ryze has started to pull ahead. And notice what he does in itemization. He rushes that Frozen Heart because he's against Gangplank. Gangplank, in turn, our Gangplank player, probably should have gone Merc Treads instead of the cooldown boots. Just feels like that would have been stronger. Anyway, here I'm getting engaged upon, and that's because Killer Kiwi went up there to ward. So again, you have to be careful when you and your support get split. So anyway, I decided to go in and engage because I can see that we've got Sona ult right here as well. And oh, this is getting very low. There comes out the Graves ult, but I'm going to survive. I use my Summoner heal. And now here I see the Toast Machine, and I'm going to get greedy. I'm going to go to pursue, but oh, that was really dumb. Really stupid. I thought I could get the kill on Alistar. I could not, and I actually was tanking a ton of creep damage. So just should have backed off there. The other reason why that was a bad idea was the Mecha Pope Udyr was actually there as well. So a big mistake on my part. Got the kill on Graves 1v1 and then dying to Alistar, giving it right back. This is especially a bad death because look how many minions are right here. With so many minions, I'm going to miss out on a good 10 to 15 minion kills. It's a huge mistake. All I needed to do was just, you know, we got the kill on Graves, okay, just back and then farm these minions. If I do that, we come out so far ahead. As it is, we come out ahead, but not nearly as far ahead as we could have. Again, because I missed all that farm. Yeah, I missed 2 full waves because of that. Actually, more like 3 full waves, if you count, because there were 2 full waves at the tower, and then this third one here. So, again, really a mistake, and that's just a good example of showing why it's so important to avoid deaths. It's much more important to avoid deaths than it is to get kills. This is a really good point for anyone who's trying to improve at League of Legends. More important to avoid deaths than to get kills. And again, that sometimes seems contradictory, but when you're alive, you can be farming, you can be making plays on the map. When you're dead, you can't do anything. So again, while it's nice to get kills and get that extra gold, put the other team behind, it's usually more important to avoid your own deaths because that way you can put yourself ahead. Anyway, there is a fight going on over here. The Mecha Pope flashing out. There comes the Nocturne ultimate. I'm a little surprised it went on to Ryze and not Udyr. Are we going to be able to finish this off? Tasticles is taking damage, but there comes my Ashe arrow from bottom lane, and that's going to allow us to get a kill with Ignite. So yes, I did fire that arrow from bottom lane, and it turned out to be perfect. You just have to guess again where they're going to be. So that allows us to get that kill. And Mecha Pope kind enough to give some props for that. Anyway, Varys is quite low, but there comes the Mordekaiser ult. Is it going to be enough to finish him? Oh, I think he managed to avoid that Dust Trail from Nocturne. Not quite enough, it doesn't look like. But we are going to get this tower mid. We're going to trade a tower mid for a tower in bottom lane. Oh no, we did get that kill. Wow, that was a little bit late. Didn't think we'd get that one, but it did pop up late. So then Aurelia's pushing top. Graves and Alistar are going to push bottom. And so basically we're going to trade middle tower for top tower and bottom tower, is my understanding of how this turns out. Anyway, so let's see. Now that they've taken our tower, don't need to race down there to defend it. So we are going to take advantage of this to do Dragon. So 2 towers and 2 kills for what was that? No, they got the 2 towers. We got Dragon and their mid tower. Now I'm getting confused. Anyway, they're coming in to fight, and this is a really bad fight. Just need to get out of here, so I'm going to flash over the wall. Do not have my ultimate up. We just need to escape from this fight, try to disengage. So we're going to lose Sona right there, and now I don't even know how the trade works out, and I'm not going to try. But I guess relatively even overall. We did get the Dragon. If they had stolen that, then it would have been a very bad trade for us. So yeah, we're in trouble top is really the biggest issue. Aurelia has gotten very, very strong. So really at this point it's going to be Aurelia and Ryze that are going to be super strong on their team. And on our team, I'm really going to have to be the focus point in the team fights because I'm way more stronger than anyone else on our team. Really, it's Nocturne who's the next strongest on our team. Unfortunately, Mordekaiser just has had a rough go of it in the laning phase. He did get his Will of the Ancients, but I mean, he's still relatively weak at this point. Only has the 62 CS, and Gangplank has farmed a little better, but I mean, 1 kill, 5 deaths. Unfortunately, not that great, and his only damage item is a Wriggles at this point, so he's just not that strong. So again, it's going to really come down to my positioning in the team fights, and that's really scary because my issue with AD is never farming. I can always farm just fine as AD. My problem is always positioning in the team fights. I tend to be in the wrong spots, and then I just get burst down and killed immediately. But again, the only good thing is I'm actually very, very strong. I'm going to go back. I'm going to pick up my Zeal here on this purchase. And I mean, if you've got Infinity Edge and Zeal at the 23-minute mark on Ashe, that's quite strong overall. That you're in a pretty good position. And there I'm going to pick up another dagger towards a future Phantom Dancer. So I'm only about 1,000 gold roughly, maybe a little bit more than 1,000 away from Phantom Dancer, and I've got my Infinity Edge, and I'm really, really strong. Here comes in the arrow, trying to, I mean, an optimistic arrow. That one doesn't manage to hit, but when Gangplank used his ult, I figured he was trying to force a team fight, so I figured it was worth it. There goes Tasticles. Fortunately has that cleanse, and now I'm going to turn on that Frost Shot, but just can't get too aggressive because Udyr is right there. And at this point, yeah, like I said, just going to have to do a good job in these team fights, hopefully, because their team is clearly ahead. They're ahead 2-1 in kills. They've got map positioning up on us. And there, right there, that's the value. That's the utility of Ashe. You see, I used the Hawk Shot, and boom, there's 2 members of their team right there. So that allows us to avoid a really bad engagement. Meanwhile, up here, we have managed to catch the Beezy's Aurelia, and we're going to burst them down and get a Mordekaiser Ghost out of it, which is great because now we've got a 6-on-4. And that's really what you're always looking for with Mord. Can he get the ghost? If he does, awesome. He's really strong. If he can't get it, then he doesn't really do anything in the team fights. So what it always comes down to, and we were actually able to get that Aurelia ghosty. It doesn't look like it's going to turn into a bigger team fight, so with that in mind, hey, just farm this lane. Gonna have to head back to bottom soon because it is pushing against us, and I'll just, try to keep farming, keep getting stronger as Ashe. Dragon is down. Dragon is not going to be up for another 2 to 3 minutes, and so I'm going to type what is the key objective right now. It's Baron. We need to get a Baron ward over here, like right now, because if we don't have vision up there and I go bottom lane, then they can just rush it and do it. So again, at any point in time in the game, once you reach the 20-25 minute mark, once you hit this point in time, Baron is very much in play, and you have to be careful about sending champs bottom. So when I go down here to bottom lane, this is actually a bit of a risk. Now, we do need to send someone down here to push back this lane, but by going down here, we do open ourselves up for their team to rush Baron and just straight to Baron before we can get up there. Especially because I'm so much the focus of our team right now. I just do so much more damage than anyone else on our team. Gangplank's trying to get there. Mord has, he has some AP, and Nocturne's got his Phage, but I mean, they just don't do anywhere near the amount of damage that an Ashe with Infinity Edge and Zeal is going to do. So right here, Hawkshot again. Am I getting ganked? Nope, I'm okay. So that means I can just walk back here. And I believe that we're getting ready. Yeah, we're getting ready for Dragon right now because Dragon's about to respawn, I believe, a little after 26 minutes. Should be back up. So that's why we're all grouping up around here. Have to be careful not to get anybody picked off right now. In terms of what their team has, Ryze, let's see, I can click on him. Udyr is getting pretty strong. He does have his wit's end so far, and he's working towards, looks like Randuin's as his next item. Ryze is quite strong already. Varys is 6'3". He has a lot of kills. He has the Frozen Heart and Banshee's Veil, so he's quite tanky already. He's putting up a lot of mana. Meanwhile, Graves, we see Graves heading down the bottom lane, so that means we can look to force a fight while Graves is going to push back this, and once again, that now opens us up to make some kind of a play while their AD is bottom. So if we can isolate somebody right now, we can look to force a fight, and we see Aurelia heading off to top lane. By the way, Aurelia also quite strong. She has her Trinity Force, and she's almost got a Warmogs. So right here, it's like, hey, they've got Graves in bot, they've got Aurelia in top. Let's push mid. Like we can force an uneven fight in middle lane right now. We've got a numbers edge mid, so let's go for this. Let's just push this middle lane and see if we can get anything out of it. So we were looking to do this. Oh, I guess I'm backing for some reason. Anyway, I guess we decided to back off because Aurelia was pushing. So we decided to back here, and did not end up pushing mid. I guess it's because too many of our people split off. Nocturne went down to push back bot. So that ended up being for naught, but the idea was sound. When their team split off into the side lanes, we could go and try to make a play in mid. Now, one good thing about Ashe is that it's very easy to pop Banshee's Veils with your volley. If you notice, I popped the Banshee's Veil on Ryze right there, and Varys is trying to initiate on me. I don't know if he has Flash Up. If he has Flash Up, he might have considered just Flash Rune Prisoning me, because I was the only one there, but it looks like he decided not to go for that. Anyway, my red's up. I'm going to come down here, pick up red. Red buff on Ashe, of course, very strong. It means that you have even more of a slowing and kiting effect. Fortunately, we do have a little bit of luck in that their jungler is Udyr, and Udyr is very, very susceptible to kiting. If you're playing Udyr, you do not want to see Ashe in the game because she can just slow you endlessly and make it so that you never get a chance to get up there and auto attack. Okay, anyway, right now, here, dragon's up, so we're going to have the big dragon fight. Let's see how this is going to go. And we really could use a ward in that brush right there. Anyway, we are going to look right here. I see Udyr is out away from his team, so I'm going to use the arrow. I'm going to force the fight. We're going to try to get in there. Meanwhile, so Nocturne's going to continue chasing. It's a good gangplank ult right there. Their team is trying to get after me, so I'm trying to kite as best I can. Thankfully, I have that red buff. Irelia dives on me. I'm going to use my heal and my flash. They're still trying to get to me, but they're not quite able to get to me, and the rest of the team is doing a nice job of finishing off low targets. So I disengage from the fight. Now I'm going to re-enter the fight. My positioning was very good in this battle. Now I'm in the back, and now all we have to do is get that fear proc on Irelia. There it is. And now we can just start perma-slowing her. Or no, she's actually going to flash out over the wall. So she may be able to get away here. But no, Aurelia's going to turn and go back in, which is a huge mistake because now I can just turn on my frost arrows and we're just slowing every attack right there onto Aurelia. Again, slow, crit, and that's what Ashe does. So good at chasing. So we're going to be able to finish that off. And can Skykiller pick off the last member of their team? No. Alistar's going to get out. But Alistar's the least important member of their team. We managed to go 4 for 1 in that team fight, so it went really well for us. A couple keys to that fight was we managed to initiate on Udyr, and he was a little bit split from the team. If you know, the rest of the team was here and Udyr was over here, so I initiated with the arrow. Nocturne used his ult. We were able to burst down Udyr before the fight started, as we take dragon and then take their blue, sort of as the spoils of victory here. Anyway, we got Udyr split from the rest of their team, and then when their team tried to kill me, I had both summoners up, which was really key. Was able to flash away from Aurelia, use my summoner heal, was able to survive, and then so I was able to disengage from the battle, was able to get away from Alistar and Aurelia who were chasing me, and then was able to re-engage on the fight after that when I was safe. And meanwhile, we were able to get a really good Sona ult. Killer Key, we hit most of their team there. I think he hit 3 or 4 of them. Got a really nice Gangplank ult. So again, double area of effect damage between their ults. Got a Mordekaiser Ghost in the fight. And we were able to burst down Graves, whereas I was able to stay alive. Increasingly, as you get into late game team fights, what it starts being about is who can keep their ADs alive and protect them in the fight while it's going on. And in that fight, we were able to keep myself, Ashe, alive, while their Graves player was not able to stay alive. His items are actually pretty close to mine, but he was not able to stay safe in the fight, and I was. And that, along with some good use of ults, was enough to make the difference. Anyway, over here, in a little bit of trouble, is Mordekaiser going to be able to make it out of here? Looks like he is. Did take a bit of harass, but nothing too serious. And right now, I'm going to push back. I was pushing back bottom lane, and then we need to go, and we need to direct our attention up here to Baron, because that's the next big objective. Okay, one word on itemizing. Look what I've picked up in terms of items. I've picked up a Last Whisper instead of a Phantom Dancer here. I was planning to get Phantom Dancer, but then I looked at their items, and I was like, okay, what do they have? Oh, Frozen Heart. That's a ton of armor. Look at Aurelia. She's got a Chain Vest and Ninja Tabby. That's a lot of armor. Udyr, he's got a Chain Vest. Again, more armor. So their team is very heavy on armor, so I'm itemizing around that. Anyway, I see VarisNox. I see that I can catch him with an arrow. I'm going to go for him. We get a nice Gangplank ult. Now Udyr is coming after me, so I need to kite, Frost Arrow, and then another Frost Arrow, and again, just kiting Udyr. Ashe, a hard counter to that. So we're able to burst down Ryze, got a nice Gangplank ult to slow him, use the arrow to initiate, and then able to get Udyr as he over pursues. And now we've got the 5-on-3, and we're going to force Baron because we have the edge right now. So we have to force them to fight a 3v5 if they want to contest this, and we've gotten their jungler. So that's very key. No smite here. That means if they're all we have to do is land our smite, and we will get this Baron. So let's keep an eye on this as it goes down. Is their team going to challenge it? I do have Hawkshot up, so it can give us vision. We also have ward coverage over here. And no, it looks like we're actually going to get this even before they can get over there. So they came in the challenge a little late. Didn't really have much of a chance to get that. Anyway, that was all a fight that was set up by Ashe Arrow. Just Varus wasn't really even in that bad of a position, but again, just Ashe Arrow, point and click stun. I saw him just a little in front of his team. His Banshee's Veil was down, so boom, Ashe Arrow, Gangplank ult, and we just have great initiations on this team. Think of the initiations we have. We have Ashe Arrow, we have Sona ult, we have Gangplank ult, we have Nocturne ult. I mean, those are really, really useful skills for initiating a team fight. So their team doesn't really even have to be out of position for us to fight. Now this as a play, I'm not really a big fan of this. The Forsaken, our Mordekaiser player, wants to go up here and just tank this tower to kill it. And is he going to get this tower? As it turns out, yes, he is going to get this tower, but this is super risky and it's really not worth it. There's a very, very high chance that he can get picked off there and we can lose one member of our team. So is it worth it to take an outer tower? No, not even a little bit. So I would not suggest doing that. It's just the chance of something going wrong and one member of your team getting picked off is pretty high. And let's face it, taking an outer tower 32 minutes into the match, it's really not that valuable overall. So what we need to do is what I've just typed here. We need to grab buffs, and then we need to push a lane together. And mid is probably our best target for that. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to grab red again. Should we give red to someone else on our team? Should we give it, like, to, say, Nocturne? Possibly. There's a strong argument made that you should give it to Gangplank or Nocturne here. But in any case, I just decided to take it because, after all, I am doing more damage than anyone else on the team. So this is pretty much a full build on Ashe. You've got Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, and Last Whisper, which means I am doing just tons and tons of damage right now. And now we just need to group up together. Mordekaiser, again, another side result of him pushing that back. He's a little late getting in here. So we just need to look to group up and push a lane, and mid's as good as any. Now right there I wanted to get Varys' Banshee's Veil on Ryze. Wasn't able to get that, so unfortunately we're not able to do that. And now we can siege a tower, and we have a big edge in siege here because we have Baron Regen and Sona heals. So that means we have really good sustain right here. Again, for people who don't know, Baron gives extra attack damage, extra ability power, then it gives extra health regen and mana regen. So notice how high my health and mana regen is. That's from Baron right there. It's not from normal itemizing. So we just need to poke at this tower and siege this one down. Unfortunately, that Graves smoke cloud makes it really tough to get in and poke on this tower. But the other thing that our team needs to do a better job of right here is our team needs to do a better job of getting out in front and protecting me. This was something that was an issue during the game. Over and over again, I had to like walk out in front of the team to poke at the tower. When our minion line pushes up there, our tanky champs need to go out in front of the rest of the team, and they need to protect me, give me a little bit of protection so I can poke at the tower as Ashe. And unfortunately that wasn't really happening. I had to expose myself to a little too much danger to get in. Like, look right now, I'm the one in front. That should not be happening. So that allows Aurelia to dive in here. Here we're gonna have the team fight. It's a good Sona ult, good Gangplank ult. Again, I'm gonna flash back, use my summoner heal, so Aurelia's not able to get to me, and Udyr's not able to get to me again. And now it's just a matter of right-clicking as best I can onto people. So we actually will go 1 for 1 right there. We're able to finish off. Alistar. Wow. Okay, a bit of an odd target to pick there, but we were able to finish off Alistar right there, and we lost Nocturne in the process. So that's a little kind of in their favor because support not as valuable as our jungler. Again, like right here, it's just I really could use someone to walk in and just tank a little bit for me as I poke at the tower. But I'm able to get a couple crits on VarisNox, and like right now, just need to poke at this tower. This is what you need to do as AD. Poke at that tower. Poke, poke, poke. I just could use a little bit more protection, so I'm not the one in front of the team. But we are getting damage on this tower. Alistar still hasn't revived yet, so again, we just need minions. We are slowly getting this tower down. Is this the best use of our Baron? I don't know, but it's working pretty well. We are getting damage on them, so there's the Hawk shot. And again, look at this. Look, notice how I'm out in front of the team. That's really not the positioning you want, but like I said, just need somebody to get out there and protect me. But anyway, we do get the tower. Our positioning not the greatest. Again, you want to use a tankier champ like Gangplank to go out in front and just, you know, run interference for the AD so they can sit there. You only really need about 3 or 4 seconds on each wave to poke at a tower. We didn't quite get that, but I mean, it worked out. We got the tower. We went 1 for 1, not the worst result. And now, because we have map control, we can go over here. We can steal their red, and I'll just keep myself perma red. Up here, we do have a chance to go for this tower if we can cut them off. I mean, it's a little daring. And right there, nope, gonna miss the arrow. And once I miss that arrow, we probably don't want to fight. I'm actually tanking the tower, and so I'm gonna ping to fall back. Don't like this fight now that I have arrow down. And again, their team has had the chance to go and heal, whereas ours hasn't. So we just need to disengage, and Killer Kiwi is going to do a great job of that by using his ultimate. It's going to allow us to disengage and just retreat from this fight. Notice how Mordekaiser and I are a little bit low. Could we win this fight? Maybe, but our Baron has run out. Their team has had a chance to heal and buy. I'm sitting on 2,000 gold. It really is better, in my opinion, just for us to disengage from this fight and look to come back again and get more damage on their base a second time. The worst thing would be to fight when we're a little bit low from already having done a previous fight after they've healed. Then we lose the fight, and then they go and take Baron, and then the match has been swung. So again, at this point, in terms of picking up items, what I want to do is I want to remedy this. Notice how I only have 32 magic resist, so I'm going to go and pick up Quicksilver Sash. Gives me the extra magic resist and will also give me a free cleanse, so that could be a pretty big deal. Particularly if Ryze were to, say, flash and rune prison me, I can instantly cleanse that with Quicksilver and again disengage from the fight. So that's why I want to pick that up. This is pretty standard on AD carries in late game to get a Quicksilver Sash, just because people are going to be focusing their crowd control on me. Or if Udyr has a flash stun, or Alistar would would use a flash stun, something like that, again, I can just cleanse it, and that allows me to disengage and then get back to safety. Because if I die in one of these team fights, we will lose the team fight. It's really as simple as that. If I die, we will lose the team fight. I have so much more farm and so much more damage than anyone else on our team. In fact, this is actually a little bit of an issue with itemization. With me doing this much damage, we actually don't need more damage from the rest of our team. Like, look at this Gangplank build. He's gone Wriggles, and then Trinity Force, and then a BF Sword. We don't need more damage from Gangplank. What we need is for him to be tankier, and he is not particularly tanky. He's only just over 100 armor and MR, which, I mean, is not terrible, but for a melee champ who has to run into the middle of the team, it's really not a lot, and he only has 2,000 health, 2,100. That's very low, so he really would have helped benefited the team if he had built, you know, a Frozen Mallet, or if he had built, you know, an Atma's Impaler / Warmog, something like that. It really would have helped us, just because, again, you have to consider your role on the team. And on this team, we didn't need more damage. We needed more tankiness. Nocturne also could have considered doing something similar. He's also not really that tanky. Anyway, here we're going to use, we saw that their team was over in mid, and we just ran and pushed bottom, and their team was not able to get over here in time to defend. So we're actually able to get this tower completely for free. And now at this point, I'm gonna ping for us to back, and what I'm gonna tell the team is, let's go to Baron, because I know the timer for Baron. I know Baron's about to be up, and indeed there it is. So let's hey, let's rush over there and let's do this. And I mean, we don't have to do it, but we have to be at least in position to defend their Baron. So Nocturne is trying to blue pill, and again, this is a mistake. Baron's about to pop. That is not the time to go and run back and buy. That really is a major tactical mistake. We could be in all kinds of trouble right here. And indeed, here comes our team. And again, oh great, now, you know, now we're 4v5. I'm sure that Nocturne went back to buy something. Yeah, it was not worth it to back and buy Zeal there. Anyway, the good news is we do have the Clairvoyance from Sona coming out. Fortunately, Sona has CV, so we don't have to just wander in and face check their team. And notice that Skykiller does a nice job. He walks around this way, doesn't walk right into the brush where their whole team is. And my Hawkshot's about to come off cooldown. So right here, I see Aurelia out in front of the team. I'm going to use my ult on her, and then we're going to get a nice Sona ult, a nice Gangplank ult, and we're able to burst down Aurelia again before the team starts. I'm getting Rune Prison by Ryze, and I should Quicksilver this, but I don't. But fortunately, we have enough damage for us to get out of that, and we're actually going to be able to go 3 for 0. And over there, unfortunately, Skykiller keeps chasing, and that's a little bit silly. At this point, there's really not much of a purpose to continue chasing and fighting. What we should do is just take this Baron. It's a free Baron. They can't stop us. We really should just go and take this, and, you know, then look to push while their whole team's dead. So there we go. We're going to take that Baron. And now right here, going to ping mid-turret. It's like, let's go. Go, go, go. No, now is not the time to buy. We need to push. So, new bot time. Push, 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 push. And why is that? Well, we just killed 3 members of our team. So we've got a 4-on-2, and we have Baron. And what's more important is we killed the most important members of their team. At this point, Ryze and Aurelia are really their strongest team members. So, again, this is the golden opportunity to push. It is not the time to go back and buy. We need to cash in our advantage from winning that last team fight, get this tower, get this inhib, and now we can look to back. As it is, though, their team is reviving. I was like, you know what, let's just get in a couple free shots on this tower before we back. I wanted to get in a little bit of damage. This is actually really risky, and it's probably not worth it because it's too big of a risk for the the benefit we might get out of it. And anyway, there's the Shorelia, so we need to look to disengage, and right there I'm going to arrow on Udyr, and again, now we just need to run out of here. So are we going to be able to make it out of this? Uh-oh, this could be really big trouble, but as it turns out, yeah, we actually are going to be able to escape. So that was probably a mistake. I mean, we did get about 1,000 damage on that tower, but was it worth it? No, it was too risky. We really should not have done that. And in retrospect, looking at this again, you can see that it was probably a big mistake to try to go for that. Anyway, at this point, we want to buy, then push again. Pretty standard right here. So what I need to do as last item is I need to replace this Doran's Blade. And what I really should have bought here, I should have bought a Wriggles, because that would give me the lifesteal and the extra armor. The item you want right here is you want a Bloodthirster, but I didn't have quite enough gold for Bloodthirster, so I just bought the BF sword and then double pot, red elixir, green elixir. But I should have bought Wriggles and then red elixir, green elixir, because I didn't need that much extra damage, and Wriggles would give me more lifesteal. As it is, really the hole in this build is I only have 3% lifesteal, and that's kind of a big mistake. Wriggles would have given me quite a bit of lifesteal. Was it 15%? So you want to go Bloodthirster if you are in sort of extreme late game, but if you don't have enough for Bloodthirster, you should get Wriggles. So Wriggles would have been a better purchase there. Wriggles and then double pot should have been the purchase. And then if the game keeps going after that, sell your Wriggles for a Bloodthirster. Still, needless to say, I am incredibly farmed as Ashe. I have 304 minion kills, although their team, look at Aurelia, look at Graves, a lot of minion kills on their team as well. But I have the 5 champion kills, the 7 assists, we've taken 2 Barons, and we've taken about 3 Dragons, and all that really adds up. In addition, and we've also taken 7 towers, so that is a lot of global gold. Anyway, so we have our pick of bottom tower or top tower. Why do we go for top tower? Well, because we already got in damage on top tower. So if we're going to siege up a tower, it's better to go for the one that's already a bit low. So anyway, now it's just a matter of pushing in. We have the edge, we have Baron, we want to siege down this tower. If we can get a second tower and a second inhib, that will effectively seal up this game. Just because it's really hard to come back after 2 inhibs are down. So again, what do we need? Need the team to run out and protect me. And look, no one protecting Ashe. Why do I have to run in front of the entire team? Where is Gangplank? Where is Nocturne? Again, need to be out in front. Like, I can't poke at the tower if I'm the only one out in front. So again, this is a mistake in positioning. You have to know your role on the team, and in this situation, need to just protect me as an AD. Anyway, major goals. Right now, we need to get that Banshee's Veil off of Ryze. So that I can look to arrow him in a team fight. I want to arrow either Ryze or Aurelia or Graves are the ones I'm looking to try to go after. But as a first target, need to get that Banshee's Veil. Boom, there it is. Now I've got the Banshee's Veil down. Now we can look to engage. So I'm going to try to hit Ryze, and I whiff completely, although I do hit Udyr, I guess. But that's going to be the signal to go in. And where's the Gangplank ult? I don't know. I'm going to back out because I'm tanking the tower, but we get a good Sona ult. And so there we are. Going to take the tower down first. Here comes Aurelia. She goes after me, but I'm going to be able to survive just barely. And now we're going to start cleaning up the fight. And at this point, it's just academic. There's the Frost Arrow onto Udyr. And wow, where was that Gangplank ult? Again, I mean, it worked out fine. We actually went 5-0, but wow, why did the Gangplank ult not hit right as we engaged? Fortunately, though, great Sona ult. I had both my summoners up. I was able to flash back out of that. And so we're able to escape from the fight. And we're able to take this one. They actually surrender right before we take the Nexus. So there you go. A game with AD, something I don't play very much, but there you go. AD Ashe. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up with a few final thoughts. Okay, since this is already a long video, I'm going to keep this relatively short. The biggest mistake that their team made was just letting me free farm in bottom lane as Ashe. Again, Graves, Alistar, very strong laning combination, and they just needed to put more pressure on me, so I just couldn't sit there last hitting every minion. Again, if you have Graves, Alistar, be aggressive. I mean, Ashe is a relatively weak laner, so use the smoke cloud, use the quick draw, have Alistar going in for headbutts and pulverizes, you know, just make it really miserable for Ashe to farm. And since they didn't do that, that allowed me to get really, really strong, and I just led in farm for the whole game. Got super strong, and even though I'm not a particularly great AD player, it just wasn't really that hard. Biggest issue for our team was we needed a little bit more tankiness. Again, everybody on our team just built straight damage, and that really wasn't what we needed in some of those roles. Either Gangplank or Nocturne needed to be much tankier so they could go in and just fulfill that bruiser role, you know, soaking up damage. Like, we didn't need Trinity Edge, or Trinity Force and Infinity Edge on Gangplank there. So yes, we did a ton of damage, but that wasn't quite what we needed on the team. I kind of did enough damage as Ashe. All I needed to do was be safe for, you know, 4 seconds, and I would just melt their entire team. So that's a little bit of just understanding the role. But anyway, overall, fun game for our side, interesting game. It did get dragged out a little bit longer, but I got the chance to play AD, and like I said, I don't really enjoy playing AD that much, but this was one game where I did get the positioning right in the team fights. And again, if you can stay safe as AD and you farm well, then you really are the most important part of the fights. Anyway, once again, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I do want to mention again, could really use just a couple small donations to help fix the live stream and make it so that it's in a really nice place for the next couple years so I can keep doing this. So again, everything completely optional, and again, I know I'll get downvoted for posting this, but again, if anyone wants to give like $2 or $3 or dollars, then it would really help me out with the live stream. So anyway, once again, take care guys, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again soon.